What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing a very unique team in the Fantasy Cup submitted to the channel by JimmyOwen27, who's running Steelix with Thunderfang, Shinotic and Dragalge with Water Gun, which I genuinely didn't even realise it learned Water Gun, so I'm sure there are going to be plenty of opponents in these battles that are in the same boat as me. With Water Gun, it can actually do pretty well against certain fairies like Galarian Weezing, as well as hitting for neutral or even super effective damage up against some of the steel types. So with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What has been your favourite anti-meta pick for the Fantasy Cup this season? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, it's Steelix into Galarian Weezing, and with Thunderfang, this is a much more comfortable matchup. Obviously, Overheat's still going to do huge damage here. We lose the CMP tie as they do reach the Overheat, but we call that it is just a Sludge Bait that's triple resisted and an absolutely huge call for us. We can now go for Psychic Fangs. Psychic Fangs is super effective, doesn't do too much damage, but it does drop their defense. Now they do have enough for another Overheat. We're going to shield and correctly shield it this time around, as the opponent's going to swap into their Slurpuff. We're going to go for a Psychic Fangs here, and then probably swap into our Dragalge at some point. And we are now going to swap into the Dragalge. With the defense drop, we can probably just Water Gun, farm them all the way down here, as the opponent goes for a double resisted Energy Ball, probably running Energy Ball and Flamethrower, I would assume, and they're going to go for the Flamethrower this time around. Can we get the full farm down in time? Doesn't quite look like it, so we're going to go for an Aqua Tail here, taking out the Slurpuff, and the opponent comes back in with the Weezing. We can go for another Aqua Tail here, and this should be taking out the Weezing as well. The opponent is going to shield up the Weezing here, so at this point we are going to let the move go through, as the opponent is going to full send an Overheat, taking out Dragalge, and the opponent's got a Azumarill in the back, so this should be looking very comfortable for our Shinotic in the back. Just going to go for a Psychic Fangs here, drop the defense, and now a Seed Bomb will do more damage. The opponent recognizing there's nothing they can do, and they concede the match. So going into the next battle, a great lead for us, although we are hitting, of course, full resisted damage with the Thunderfangs. The opponent safe swaps into Galarian Weezing, so once again, going to go for a Psychic Fangs here, and we do barely outpace them because they had to swap. Now we can swap into our Dragalge, probably Wool the Energy, as it's likely that they are running Sludge and Overheat once again, and we can probably go for a full Water Gun farm down. The opponent is already at a back-to-back Sludge there, and can we go for the full farm down? We're actually not going to go for the full farm down. Instead, going to go for the Aqua Tail, taking out the Weezing. The opponent comes back in with their Magnezone, and we will be able to make it to an Aqua Tail here just before the opponent gets off a charge move. Aqua Tail grabs a shield from the opponent, then they swap into their Slurpuff, so seeing a lot of Slurpuff, a lot of Galarian Weezing. Both matchups Dragalge actually does pretty well against, with Water Gun as the fast move. As you can see, we've already got them into the yellow health range before they throw a charge move. They go for the Flamethrower. We're going to come in with our Shinotic here, and we can actually just let a move go through if we want to, and that's exactly what we're going to do. The opponent goes for another Flamethrower. We do live that. We can go for a Seed Bomb here, and this should be game over for the opponent. Seed Bomb is going to grab the final shield, probably just going to sacrifice the Shinotic, but no, the opponent swaps into their Shadow Magnezone. We can come in with the Steelix, take the charge move very comfortably. The opponent going to fire off another charge move. We still don't have to shield anything, as they go for another Mirror Shot. They're still not getting a debuff there, and the opponent just concedes the match. So going into the next battle, we're going to see Steelix into a Flygon, so unfortunately not that great, but the opponent swaps out straight away, and I was wondering if maybe with our Steelix, the opponent might expect Dragon Tails, so swap out there. So obviously we both swapped at the same time. We swap into Dragalge, they swap into Empoleon. This is a fairly neutral matchup here. We're going to let the first move go through as they go for the Drill Peck, and we can go for another Aqua Tail. We should be able to make it to a third Aqua Tail before they get the full Waterfall farm down, so the opponent does shield that Aqua Tail. We now make it to Aqua Tail number 3. Unfortunately, will not KO. The opponent will be able to farm us down as well, but that's okay. We are going to come in with the Steelix here. We are going to let the move go through here. This is going to do a lot of damage to the Steelix, but we swap into our Shinotic, hopefully an Azumarill in the back, and they come in with their Flygon, so this does look pretty good for us. It might be the Azu in the back. We're going to go for a Seed Bomb bait. Seed Bomb grabs the final shield from the opponent, and we don't have to shield anything here from the Flygon, and the opponent's going to go for a Boom Burst. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. Well, I just said we can save our shields for whatever's in the back, but a Flygon absolutely deleting us there. And unfortunately, Lucario in the back will be able to very easily get rid of the Steelix there. And fair play to the opponent for running Boom Burst, as it absolutely paid off in this battle. And we are going to end up losing this game, which looked pretty straightforward at one point, but well played by the opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Steelix into Turtonator, so not ideal for us. Once again, another matchup where Dragon Tail would be slightly better for us, but we do at least barely outpace them to a Breaking Swipe. Now, Breaking Swipe obviously doesn't have a guaranteed debuff anymore, and we don't get that debuff straight away, so a bit unfortunate there. I personally would just let the Steelix go down, but we're actually going to shield a Flamethrower. We can still outpace them to the next charge move as well, so might grab a shield this time around, and we do grab the shield there, and we get the debuff, although from this range it doesn't really matter. So the opponent going to go for Flamethrower number 2, taking us out. We can come in with Dragalge, going to go for the Water Gun farm down, and we just barely get that farm down. Absolutely huge, as the opponent was at the charge move there. They're now going to come in with Whimsicott, and do they know about the Gunk Shot here? We are going to full send it. Gunk Shot one-shots the Whimsicott, and the opponent comes in with Azumarill. Now, we should probably just stay in and go for another Gunk Shot. If the opponent overfarms, we are going to let this move go through, as the opponent isn't running Ice Beam, which is huge for us. We're actually going to go for a bait here. I do not agree with this whatsoever. The opponent calls the bait as well, which is really unfortunate. We're staying in, and we do just barely make it to a Gunk Shot. That was really risky, but Gunk Shot will be grabbing the final shield from the opponent. We've still got a shield remaining for our Shinotic, and we can tank any move they throw. The opponent going to go for another Play Rough. Doesn't do much damage. Seed Bomb should hopefully be enough damage from this range to take out the Azumarill. It actually doesn't quite take them out there, but the opponent gives up as there's nothing they can do, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we see Steelix into Azumarill, so actually not that bad of a matchup with Thunderfang. I think, well, actually, we can probably win this as long as the opponent isn't running the Hydro Pump as the charge move. And we're going to go for the Psychic Fangs, throwing immediately, debuffing their defense, and we're now going to swap, catch the move. If this is Hydro Pump, that's actually insane, and it is the Hydro Pump. Really nice play. The opponent comes in with a Shadow Alolan Sand Slash, and they are going to get to a charge move here before us. We are going to shield that, go for an Aqua Tail, and possibly grab a shield back from the opponent. It wouldn't take them out, but the opponent does use their shield, which is pretty good. They're now going to go for the next charge move pretty much straight away. Ice Punch will be taking us out, and Sand Slash is a bit of a core breaker for our team, but we come in with the Steelix. We're going to go for a Psychic Fangs immediately, debuffing their defense. Obviously, both charge moves are resisted. We try to swap there and catch a potential drill run onto our Shinotic, but for whatever reason, the switch doesn't go through, but we can at least get the full farm down. They come back in with the Azumarill, and we are going to go for a Psychic Fangs here up against the Azu. This is going to be no shielded by the opponent, and we are going to once again try to swap and catch a Hydro Pump. Did we do it again? No, unfortunately, this is an Ice Beam, and unfortunately, they've got Registeel in the back and upper shield. This is not a good matchup. We do actually resist everything Registeel is typically going to throw, but unfortunately, because they have a shield advantage and a massive health advantage after catching the Ice Beam, yeah, we're not going to be able to take this game unless the opponent, for whatever reason, makes the most Registeel play ever and goes for a Zap Cannon up against our Steelix. That way, we might have a slight chance, but it's quite unlikely. So, let's see. The opponent is going to go for the charge move. It is just the Focus Pass, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But going into the next battle, we're going to see Steelix into Turtonator once again, so we might just play this out exactly the same as last time. Go for the Breaking Swipe immediately, hopefully grab a shield, hopefully get a debuff, but if we don't get either, then we're not going to cry about it, and we do actually get both of them there, so that's really good. At this point, I probably would just let this move go through, but the opponent goes for a resisted Dragon Pulse there. Honestly, if we let that go through, they probably could just Incinerate, farm us down, so it's not that bad that we shielded that up, and we do get a second debuff as well, which is huge for us. We can now let the move go through as the opponent going to go for another Dragon Pulse, and like I said, they do get that Incinerate farm down. We're going to shield up. They are double debuff, so possibly could have let that go through, but the opponent going to come in with a Whimsicott, and we are now going to try and swap, and once again, not able to make that catch as the opponent goes for the Moonblast, dealing huge damage, but we can now go for a double super effective Gunk Shot, easily one-shotting the Whimsicott. And the opponent's got a Flygon in the back, and this is huge for us. We can wall their energy, hopefully not another Boom Burst Flygon, but the opponent does throw straight away, so just a Scorching Sands there. Not going to do too much damage as it is resisted, and we're going to hold onto the energy, expecting the opponent to swap back into their Turtonator. Really nice play. Now we can go for the Moonblast. Moonblast takes up the Turtonator, and we can also make it to another Moonblast up against the Flygon, and this will easily be enough to take out the Flygon, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we see a Shadow Alolan Sandslash in the lead. So not ideal for us. Gonna say swap into Dragalge just because we can at least deal water gun damage, neutral water gun damage, and tank the charge move there. Although we could have possibly just stayed in with the Steelix, and it probably would have been better to do so. But we can at least grab a shield with our Dragalge, but the opponent gonna get a very nice Shadow Claw farm down. We now come back in with the Steelix. We're gonna shield the first charge move. Honestly, they probably make it to back-to-back moves before we make it to a charge move of our own. And are we gonna double shield? We are going to double shield the Steelix as they go for the back-to-back drill runs. They now swap into Galarian Weezing. This isn't looking too good for us. We're going to go for a Psychic Fangs here. The opponent does let that go through, and we should live an overheat from full health, but it will do huge damage in this matchup. The opponent goes for the overheat, and we can live that. We're going to go for another Psychic Fangs. Probably just have to stay in here because even double debuffed, a Sludge would do huge damage to the Shiinotic, and the opponent going to come back in with their Sandslash. They do get the full farm down, but we get the Astonish farm down, and it's a Galarian Rapidash in the back, and these Astonishes are doing huge damage here. But let's see, can we make it to the back-to-back Seed Bombs before they get another Body Slam and farm us down? Well, I'm very good at talking here. We go for the Seed Bomb. Can we get to the second one in time? It's going to be very close. The opponent goes for the Body Slam. We've got enough health to make it to another charge move, and we do just barely outpace them. And this Seed Bomb will be enough damage to take out the Rapidash, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we see Steelix into another Turtonator. So we've seen this a couple times already now. Just going to go for that Breaking Swipe straight away, thrown just before they make it to the first charge move. And Breaking Swipe here is going to be shielded by the opponent. No debuff this time around, but that's fine. The opponent going to farm to 100 energy. But we're going to shield this up. We want to get off another Breaking Swipe here, and we are going to go for the Breaking Swipe there. The opponent actually did go for the Overheat this time around, and we do get a debuff, and then we swap. Did we just catch another Overheat onto our Dragalge? Yes, we did, and that was already debuffed. They're now going to come in with Whimsicott. Unfortunately, though, the Overheat puts us into range where Moonblast probably takes us out, so going to use our shield there, and we are now going to fire off a Gunk Shot. We have landed it a few times already. Can we land it again? No, unfortunately not, as the opponent going to use their shield, but that's fine. We're going to let this move go through as the opponent is going to go for a second Moonblast, taking out the Dragalge. And now we're going to come in with our Shiinotic here, might try and make a catch, and we do make the catch onto our Steelix. Really nice play. And Moonblast is going to be resisted, and the opponent's going to swap into Flygon, but we've got a really, really hard counter in the form of Shiinotic. Going to let the first move go through, probably going to overfarm just a little bit more here, and we are going to go for the Moonblast just before they make it to the next charge move. Once again, this will be taking out the Flygon. They come back in with the Whimsicott. We're going to overfarm as much as we can. Go for a Seed Bomb. This is resisted damage, but Seed Bomb takes out the Whimsicott, and can we make it to the charge move in time? We do just barely make it to another Seed Bomb, but it's double resisted, but it still takes out the Turtonator, and Shiinotic sweeps that game. Really nice play by Jimmy Owen 1027. And into the next battle, we're going to see a Flygon in the lead once again. We swap out immediately, and unfortunately Flygon does core break our team, but I mean, there's not a lot we can do about it. We are going to shield. The opponent does full send a Scorching Sands at least. Dragon Claw wouldn't quite take us out, and you're going to see it here as the opponent does fire off the Dragon Claw straight away. We can live that, and we will make it to back-to-back Aqua Tails. One will probably grab a shield. The second one probably will be no shielded, as they should just be able to fully farm us down. But we will get the Flygon pretty low into farm down range for our Shiinotic, and of course we can tank anything they throw on the Shiinotic, so go for the Astonish farm down. The opponent is going to go for a Dragon Claw. Doesn't do much damage, and they come in with a Galarian Weezing, so this is not looking too good for us. They're now going to come in with Escavalier, and I don't think we've got an awful lot of hope here. We're going to go for the Psychic Fangs. The opponent is going to no-shield it, of course, as it is resisted damage. And we really are chunking with these Thunder Fangs, but I just don't think it's quite going to be enough damage to get the full farm down. So we are going to throw another charge move here. Psychic Fangs is going to grab the shield this time around, but they're already at the next drill run. So this will be taking us out. We've probably put them into range where we can farm them down, but unless the Galarian Weezing, for whatever reason, isn't running Sludge or Overheat, I just can't see us winning this game. We're going to go for the Moonblast here. Moonblast does get the debuff, which is quite good, and that should hopefully allow us to live this charge move as they go for the Sludge, and we do barely live it, but unfortunately they're already at the next charge move. We actually made that really close, but unfortunately Sludge will be taking us out, and we do lose that game. So So going into the next battle, we see a Whimsicott in the lead, so not ideal for us since they are going to be resisting the fast move, but Thunderfang is better than the Dragon Tail, of course, and we can just let the move go through as the opponent goes for a Grass Knot. We're going to go for a Psychic Fangs, debuffing them straight away, and then we might potentially try and make a catch onto our Dragalge since a Grass Knot would be double resisted, but no, going to stay in with the Steelix, just probably play out the zero shield scenario here, as actually this does get better the longer we play it out, as we're going to go for another Psychic Fangs, debuffing them once again, and they are going to throw another charge move straight away. We can just let it go through, gonna let Steelix go down, and we can come in with either Pokemon here. We actually come in with Dragalge. We're gonna bank a little bit of energy there, swap into our Shiinotic, and let's see, is the Azumarill running Ice Beam? The opponent is gonna go for a Play Rough, so probably not running Ice Beam here. We can go for the Seed Bomb, and Seed Bomb is gonna do some decent damage here. We will need to land a second Seed Bomb to take out the Azu for sure, and even then, I don't think from this range it will be enough to KO, and it doesn't quite take them out either. So are we going to shield here? Yes, we are going to shield. We will be able to Astonish, farm the Azu all the way down, and come out with nearly another Seed Bomb loaded, but let's see what the final Pokemon is. They do have a shield advantage though, and it's a Turtonator, so we're going to bank the energy, come in with our Dragalge, and we've got to be very careful about when we throw. We're going to shield the first charge move here, and the opponent might swap back into their lead Pokemon. They do, and I was going to say we need to go for the full farm down there. I think this is a big mistake there as we go for the charge move, but no, the opponent actually going to use their shield. We're going to go for another Aqua Tail, grab both shields from the opponent, but they make it to a charge move. I think if we went for the full farm down, they wouldn't have made it to a charge move, but it's just a Grass Knot, so actually that's really huge for us. And now we're going to overfarm as much as possible, throwing as late as possible. Going to go for the Aqua Tail here, and that gets them very low, and I think we are just one Astonish away from a Seed Bomb on our Shiinotic, so we should be able to get that. Actually, no, we're already at the charge move, but we go for the extra Astonish anyways, knowing we will definitely get off a fast move and the charge move before the Incinerate damage registers, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see Skarmory in the lead, so really good lead for the Steelix. We're going to resist everything they can possibly throw, and actually there's no point in throwing a charge move here just because it's likely that the opponent's going to go for a Brave Bird and then dip, and they are going to go for that Brave Bird, debuffing their defense. I still don't think there's any point in throwing here because they've triple debuffed their defense, because that still doesn't take them out anyway, so might as well have just gone for the full farm down, but the opponent's going to come in with a Haxorus. We've got Breaking Swipe, so we can go for it straight away, and we might try and no, we're just going to go for another Breaking Swipe here, grab a shield from the opponent, and we will be able to do that. And now we can just come in with our Shiinotic, completely wall the energy. The opponent's got Galarian Weezing in the back, and this should definitely be game over for the opponent. They instantly recognize that, and they just concede the match. Into next game, we see a Shadow, a load of Ninetales in the lead, and they are running Charm, so this is a pretty good matchup for the Steelix when we are running Thunderfang. Of course, Psychic Fang's not going to do too much damage, but it will debuff their defense. We can let this first move go through, whether we're going to do some decent damage here as it is neutral damage, but it doesn't threaten a shield, and we can very easily win the zero shield scenario here, going for Psychic Fangs, number 2, taking out the load of Ninetales, and the opponent comes in with Turtonator, so not ideal for us. We tried to go for the Breaking Swipe there, but unfortunately not able to do so. And this is going to be really deadly because Turtonator with energy is going to be very strong up against our backline. We're going to use our shield here as the opponent going to go for a Dragon Pulse, and they're going to swap into Azumarill, so we're going to respond with our Shiinotic, and this could be our potential win condition, our way back into the game as the opponent fires off a charge move, and it is just a Play Rough, not the Ice Beam, so that's huge. We can go for a Seed Bomb, and we should be able to make it to the second Seed Bomb on the CMP type with the next Play Rough, and we are going to throw straight away. Now I think we should undercharge this. Honestly, it won't quite take them out anyways, which is good, but if we undercharge that, we can come in with our Dragalge, get a huge Water Gun farm down, whereas now unfortunately we only get like 1 or 2 Water Guns off, and I just don't think that's quite going to be enough energy. It will be very close though, so let's see. We go for the Aqua Tail here. Aqua Tail grabs the shield from the opponent, and we are going to see the opponent fires off the charge move. I think they're at 100 energy, only 1 Incinerate away from the next charge move, and I think we over farmed there too much. I think we got there 1 turn earlier, and now unfortunately we lose the CMP tie. Well, not lose the CMP tie, sorry. The opponent is going to fire off the Dragon Pulse, and we do unfortunately lose that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.